Attention all units, please stand by to copy a BOLO. BOLO from Anytown PD regarding a delayed homicide. The incident occurred at 123 Any Street, Anytown, USA. No suspect or vehicle description provided. All units are requested to respond to helpsolvethecase.com for briefing. Clear BOLO 0818 hours. Well, hi, this is Christine with Help Solve the Case, and we are here talking today about the Alexis Edwards case. And I am here with Alexis Edwards' mom. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I don't even know how to say that. Alexis Edwards' mom, Alexis Edwards' mom. Okay. Yes. I don't have an S on the end of my last name, so I never know whether it's an ES or an S or an apostrophe or whatever. So I apologize. But we're here today. So with Help Solve the Case, I'll introduce myself a little bit for those of you that don't know me. Help Solve the Case is an organization where I do my best, myself and my virtual investigators and my other investigators do our best to try to bring some justice and some closure and some answers to families like this who have, just don't have any answers, who have suffered crimes and wrongdoing and been victimized. And for whatever reason, usually a lack of money, manpower, and sometimes, unfortunately, a lack of desire or whatever. I hate even to say that these cases go cold and they go unsolved, which is just an atrocity for a number of reasons. And so I made it my personal mission to try to do whatever I can. And I invite the public to help us help solve the case, because the more eyes and ears that we have, I always like to say that somebody knows something or somebody heard something, and it could be the minutest detail you never know that is just that last piece of the puzzle to help solve the case. So myself, I'm a former police officer and detective, and I'm now a private investigator, and I'm a law enforcement expert witness, which means, I like to comment on those things. And sometimes I have some commentary about what could have been done, what should have been done, or what we're going to do. And that's what I want to do. I want to help. And so we ask you to come along with us and see what we can do for this family. And I guess I'll preface it. We were talking a little bit about this before we came on the recording, that this is an active investigation, and we want to get as much information out as possible, but we definitely don't want to jeopardize anything to do with the case. But on a good note, we're pretty confident. I think you'll agree with me that we're pretty confident from what we hear from the police department that they've got a great case, and they're just, what do they say, dotting the I's and crossing the T's to wrap it up for the prosecution, correct? What do you think? Is that what you've heard?
Yes.
Good. Yes. That's awesome. And we might as well talk about this right now, that I think there's a lot of frustration sometimes. Sometimes for me, when I look at stuff, it seems pretty clear or pretty explainable, because I do look at it from the police perspective and I kind of understand what they're doing. But I think, and we can talk about because it's not just you, it's some of the other families. This occurred in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? And there's some other families too that are experiencing the same type of thing. But I think it's important to talk about this too, is that you want justice, and you probably wanted it. I think this happened around 1:30 in the afternoon. You probably wanted justice at 2 p.m. that day, and to sit here. And we'll go into the details, but this happened in 2019.
Yes.
And I'm sure you wanted justice 5 minutes later. And
Yeah.
that's the hard part. I think in this case, uh, there are suspects, and that's awesome, because we have a lot of cases that we don't know anything. Uh, so I don't know. As I'm talking about this, I don't know if it's better or worse. I mean, I would think it's better that you do have suspects. Maybe you can get some sort of a picture in your mind, and send some thought waves or whatever in the meantime. But they are working on it, right? And I think that's the hardest part, when you have to be patient. You have to be patient, and that has got to be crazy, right? Crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
how is this so? I just wanted to mention that, but I guess this is a good place to segue into. Um, I don't know what. Why don't you tell us, and how has this been for you? I mean, what is your I'm asking you a lot of questions. I'm used to interrogating, so I'm sorry, but let me
That's
talk
okay.
about this. What is your life like right now today?
Well, every morning that I get up, I wake up and I'm thinking about what happened to my daughter Alexis. It's just a pain that I just can't put into words. And knowing that the people that did this to her are still, haven't been brought to justice, it just like it's just adds on, to the pain every day. And I'm just trying to stay strong, and I'm, fighting for her, and I'm going to keep pushing because I know that they will be brought to justice. And just, my grandkids, I have to look at them every day. And my 3-year-old grandson, he was also shot. He was in the car with my daughter, and he witnessed, her die. And it's hard. It's hard. We want to just begin to heal. You know, we need some type of closure, and I think that when these individuals are brought to justice, I think that we can get to a point where we can start to heal from this.
It's and for those of you that are listening, I can see Alexis's mom, and just the pain is just terrible, right? Now I'm going to start getting emotional, but I think that's a lot of the things that people don't think about is the I don't want to say the ripple effect. It's not like a ripple effect. It's like a ripple of damage, or
Yeah.
it's the loss of the person, your daughter, the family member, but the impact that it has all across the family. So you mentioned that Alexis had 2 children that you are now the primary caregiver for,
Yes. For
right?
my 3-year-old, my 3 year, he was 3 years old at the time. He's 4 now. Yeah, I'm his caregiver. And then she has a 9-year-old son as well. My grandson, he's with his father. But yeah, and they're very hurt. It's just, even to this day, they cry all the time. And they wake up crying, saying they miss their mom, and I don't know what to do. I just try to be there for them and be strong, and keep fighting for her, for them. They deserve it. They deserve to have justice for their mother, to get some justice for her. But yeah.
I think that's got to be so hard, right? Because again, looking back at my career, and just catching the person, that's what you want to catch, the person. But I can't imagine being in your role, that you're dealing with your own grief and loss. You have to, your life, I'm sure, was full before, and then now adding to this, and making sure you're probably even neglecting your emotional health to try um do this. You're a warrior, you're trying to live your life and take care of the children too, and manage their emotional fallout from this, I'm sure, as well as the rest of your family. So I have to give you really great credit, because whew, it's I don't know. So I just have to applaud you. And I think that um people have to realize that too, right? And we're here to support you and the children in your family however we can. Like I'm not a counselor, right? But whatever I can do to understand that part of it too. So I kind of want to take some of your burden for you, and I'm gonna do the fight the best that I can, and support you to do that, whether I'm holding you up or I'm screaming for you. That's my goal in this. And making phone calls and talking to people, or doing whatever. And I'll mention that too. I think something that one of the reasons that I do this, and I try to promote that people in these situations, that we're talking about the suspects or the people that are involved in this, or on the fringe of the people involved in this. It just takes a wrong association or a split second of a bad decision, and somebody that you thought was somebody and they're not, and you end up at the scene of a murder. And what do you do from there? And I would ask these people that, because there's always a lot of talk. People always know something. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of talk. The community, people know who has been involved in this. And where I was going with this is that a lot of times people don't want to speak to the police. They're afraid. They don't know what is going to happen to them. And so, we have a tip line, we have a website, talk to me, get it, somebody, pass it through somebody to talk to somebody, to talk to me, to talk to the police or whatever. And let's just get this figured out, because it snowballs and it makes it worse for everybody. Right.
Right.
So if I can ask that, I don't think, and you might disagree with me at this point, but I don't think anybody is inherently a bad person. They just make bad decisions based on whatever was going on at the time. Drug use, emotions, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and being scared, and all kinds of stuff. And so it's just so critical to get the information. And that's one of the things with my goal, is to get the information. Please help us.
Yes.
We're pretty confident that like I said, the police are just preparing it and finalizing it for prosecution. I don't want to say get in while the getting is good, but because I don't speak for the police or anything like that, but I think if you are involved or know something about this, it would behoove you to come forward sooner rather than later. Let me just leave it at that, right? Because I don't even know how to live with the guilt of something, like the guilt of, I'm sitting here looking in your eyes, in these children's eyes, and something. Now I'm going to get mad. And something, if you didn't pull the trigger, but you ended up there or something like this, the guilt's going to eat you alive. And I think you're more empowered when you come forward and say something and do something. And you may have been in a situation that you didn't expect yourself to be in, but you got in it, and you need to dig your way out of it. You need to do something, a lot of times too. And I didn't even plan on going off on this tangent, but I will say, and I'm speaking right to these people, that when I look at cases, about people's involvement, and they say, I wasn't involved and I didn't mean to be there and whatever. And you know what, if you attempt to right the wrong, then it's believable. But if
Right.
you're playing the victim and, you don't do anything about it, then
You're,
in my mind, this is my mind, you right along with them, right?
yeah, I feel like you're just as guilty as the person that pulled the trigger if you don't come forward and,
Right. And
yeah.
we're not speaking about the law, right? Because some of the laws,
Right.
depending on the state or whatever, we're just talking about, personal responsibility that,
Morally, yes.
yeah, that I don't know how you would live with yourself. Like I said, stuff happens. And that's what we want. Just come forward, because it's going to come down, and it's going to come down hard. And you want to be on the good side of it, as good of a side that you can get on it. And so I'll leave it at that. But so let's talk a little bit more about, yeah, because you don't want me coming on your case. That they like me, that I was told, one of my clients, that I'm a pit bull in a skirt. So I don't know how to take
Yeah.
that, but I love
Mhm.
dogs, and
Mhm.
like you just don't want me after you. But because I don't give up, right? And where there's a will, there's a way. But so let's talk about what happened, because people are listening to this now, and we are going to be getting the word out in the community, because somebody knows something. And um, from what I understand, this happened. So this happened. The murder. That's what it is. The murder. Alexis was murdered in her driveway, right?
Yes.
In her driveway at 1:30 in the afternoon, right?
Yes.
With her child in the car,
Our 3-year-olds. Hmm.
daylight, at her house,
Yes,
where you're supposed to be safe.
that's correct.
And thankfully, her son survived. But I mean, like you said, watching his mother die and getting shot. And I mean, that's just, when you told me, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I
Horrible.
I can't even imagine losing anybody anyway. I just can't even imagine. And the worstness, that's not, probably not even a word. The worst part of this is, so from what I understand, like, so your daughter Alexis was the recipient of some anger, or some alleged payback or whatever, that wasn't even
Right. That had
related to her.
right. It had nothing to do with her.
So what happened? So tell us what happened, or what happened, right? And let me just add this, because you know who you are, and if you think that we don't know what you did, we know what you did,
Right.
and we're coming for you. So, because we know what happened. Okay, so we got the details pretty much, because the community has been really good. We just need to put a bow on it, and so we're asking
That's
for
right.
all the information. But what happened that led up to this kind of a crazy story of mistaken identity, right? I mean, and that's scary too, like retribution or something for something you weren't even involved in. I mean, this could happen to any one of us, right?
Right. Yeah. It had nothing to do with my daughter. One of her friends got into a fight, an altercation with another lady, and they came. It was at a club, and my daughter actually wasn't even there. She was at the hospital with my grandson. He had the flu, and when this altercation happened, the people involved went to my daughter's house looking for my daughter's friend that had been in the fight, and started threatening my daughter as well, looking for the girl. And they got into an argument as well because they were trying to, vandalize her car, my daughter's car in her driveway. And that was at 4:30 in the morning. And later on, at 1:30 the same day, PM, in the afternoon in broad daylight, my daughter was murdered. by these people.
That's just crazy. And so, uh, gosh, I don't even know if I want to ask this question. But I feel I have to. Uh, when this happened in the morning, was your daughter able to reach out to the police about the incident that happened at the house, or was she just busy going about her day and then this unfortunately happened?
Well, she reached out to her friends and talked to them about it, what was going on, and who came to her house and things like that. She was upset about it, that they came to her house, and I think she was, a little nervous about it as well. But she didn't reach out to the police, but she reached out to other people and let them know what happened exactly and who came to her house. So no, and basically, yeah, she was going about her day, and who would think at on a Sunday in your driveway, you just pulling up, somebody's gonna just ambush you and kill you, murder you like an animal. Who thinks that,
Not me. I mean,
Yeah.
and even with the horrors that I've seen, like, uh, what is wrong? What was wrong with humanity or people, or whatever? And, um, I don't want to upset you, but I think for people, uh, that might have heard some word on the street, because I understand there's a lot of talk about this. Your daughter was shot, correct?
Yes.
And so she and your grandson were in the car, and somebody walked up to the window and shot her.
Yes. Well, my daughter was actually on the phone with someone, with one of her friends, talking, and when the person walked up and was arguing with my daughter, saying things to her, and yeah, and basically they opened, the person opened a fire on her and my grandson, and right there shot her in her car in her driveway 6 times, and shot my grandson as well, my 3-year-old grandson. So you know that's that's a monster to me.
And then
Yeah.
this person ran away and got in a vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah. Randall.
we know we're at least looking for two people, because we would have, I mean, it's just my supposition, right? We would have a shooter and a driver, correct?
And yes, and a few other people were also involved, were in the car.
That's the word on the street from
That's
people
correct.
that know, right, what was going on. And so, what we're trying to do is get confirmation of, because this, I guess, stemmed from this fight or whatever, this beef. And then, I don't know, do you think that they didn't like that when they found out that she wasn't the one, or that she wasn't going to deal with it at 4:30 in the morning, and then that was payback at that point, so it wasn't necessarily mistaken identity, um at that point at 1:30 in the afternoon, it was because she was not cooperating with them.
Yeah, I believe that that had something to do with it as well. And that she stood her ground, when they came to her house, because she was upset. Like she told them, my kids are here, So, yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. So,
So the community knows, I guess, what happened, right? Because they've been talking to the police, I guess, and trying to help you guys out. Um, from what I understand, and we could be wrong, but we're talking about the details of this, not trying to jeopardize anything involved with the police investigation. But if you were at these locations, or if this story, this incident sounds familiar to you, or you heard, God help us, somebody bragging about this, I want to hear about it. I ask you, you don't have to reach out to the police, but to reach out to us. You can reach out to me at helpsolvethecase.com. Send an email. We've got a tip line. You can call 480-779-9870. and leave information, or you can ask for, I don't know, do you have in Indianapolis, is there a silent witness or some type of anonymous reporting program in Indianapolis?
They have a tip line. I can get the number for you.
I'll publish
But
it.
yeah,
I'll put it in
okay.
the notes for the podcast, or you can reach out to Detective Smith with the Indianapolis Police Department. But from what we understand, there's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of talk about this. Like I said, somebody knows something, and we just need all those people who have heard, seen, or know something about it. And so, from what I understand, so this happened. So the altercation or the initial fight that led to this attack or whatever happened on this. We're assuming December 28th, 2019.
Yes.
Sometime in the evening at a club in Indianapolis. We think that the name of the club might be Icon.
Yes.
Okay. And so there was a fight between some women, and then and these women may frequent or know somebody that people that hang out at the Sunset Club or the Babes Club.
Sunset Strip.
Sunset Strip, or I think it was Babes. Let me look at my notes. Babes East. I'm not from Indy, so I'm not sure where those places are. But if you frequent the Sunset Strip or Babes East or the Icon Club, these people that were involved in this altercation, there was allegedly an altercation on December 28th in the evening, which then spilled over into the early morning hours of the 29th, and they showed up at your daughter's house trying to get, I don't know, retribution or find this person or something, we don't know, related to this fight. And when, of course, your daughter didn't want to deal with it at 4:30 in the morning and having young children at home, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, from what you understand, they came back and they laid in wait.
Yes.
And
ambushed my daughter and murdered her in broad daylight.
I just can't even imagine.
No.
And we've also heard, I guess, that some of these people might, and I don't know these people, you don't know these people. This is just, we appreciate, like I said, this is kind of like America's Most Wanted. We will take any tip, any information about anything. We've also heard that some of these people may be affiliated with or in the Gary, Indiana area, right?
Yes.
Some of these
Yes.
people may have ties to Texas. I mean, who knows? We'll investigate. I'll investigate anything, right? I love to hop in the car and go find people or talk to people. I'll hop on the phone or do whatever. Just if it sounds anything familiar to anything like this, we just really want to know. Please reach out to us. And so the police, you've talked to the police, and they tell you that they're actively working on this. And
yes, that's correct.
And you've given the information to them, right? And they said they're just wrapping it up for prosecution. Like they feel pretty good that they've got a pretty good case. We're just looking for corroborating information, or like to put the bow on top of it.
Yes, the detectives say they have a strong case.
That's good.
So that's good, but we still need, if you know something, say something. We need everyone's help with this.
Something else I want to ask you about is one of the things that I had looked at was you were with, I think it was a group of moms or a group of victims in Indianapolis. You've done a great job of getting outreach and people to pay attention to it. And we still need the people that every little bit helps to come forward. But can you tell me a little bit about that? Because part of what I do with the Help Solve the Case is, and I hope I'm doing it. Please tell me if I'm not doing it, but I want you to feel heard, right? And I want you to feel that you have support and somebody working for you, because gosh, it sounds like there's a huge problem in Indianapolis. Let's let's talk about
Yes.
these, I don't want to take away from Alexis in her case, but these other mothers, like what is going on? What is going on
Yes.
there?
There's hundreds of mothers. I mean, with this, the same scenario, they lost their children, and and we're just all fighting for justice for our kids, because they're not here to fight for themselves. So we're here to fight for them, and we are asking the detectives and the police department and the mayor's office. We're just asking, for them to help us as well, and to know that the only thing we're doing is just trying to fight for justice for our kids. You know, we're not bashing the police or anything like that. We're just we just want help, and there's a problem. There's so many murders, and um, it's pretty sad, talking with all the mothers, and it's it's a big problem.
Yeah, and I don't know how we solve this, right? And one of the things is I kind of have, if I can say so, I have a unique perspective, right? Because I've been a family member victim, and I've been in the police department, and now I kind of look at it from the outside, from all sides, and in no way, shape, or form do I like cop bashing, right? But
Right.
not even getting into the politics and the funding and whatever. I think it's good that you guys are bringing attention to this situation, because I would say for the most part, I don't think it's a lack of desire on the part of police officers, but it's just a lack of manpower and resources and budget. There were for a time some Department of Justice grants, and that's gone away, and just the volume of the cases. And it's unfortunate when they talk about these cold cases, because it's like a big filing cabinet, out of sight, out of mind, which is horrible to think about. But I've worked it, right? I've been a detective working 40 to 70 cases, and it's like the thing, it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And what do you do? And if we, through this initiative, can bring light on the serious problem that we have here, not to talk about anything, we're not talking about patrol cars or anything like that, but just the excessive amount of cold cases that are not getting attention, so that just the detective bureau alone needs more resources to help solve these cases, right? And my personal
Yes.
goal, I hope I can get millions and millions of dollars, because I want to solve every one of them. And I know that's not feasible, but I'd like to have investigators in every state that just help and support and work along with the families and the police to make this happen. Or we have to come up with, I don't know, is it some type of legislative whatever? I mean, I
Right.
just, for so many reasons. I mean, first of all, it's just wrong that these cases aren't being worked on. Not to mention and I'll call it injustice about the emotion and I don't even know if I'm explaining it right, but it's I feel you guys are getting victimized. Like, you're already the victim, but you're getting
Right.
victimized again by the system, unintentionally.
Right.
So whatever we can do to help that, and that's why I really ask for the public's help, uh, because if we can get good, part of the problem, and I'll bring this up when I work on this, and other investigators and reporters and different people that try to bring attention to these cases, the police many times don't cooperate with us. And we are paying particular attention to not impacting the case. And we're here to help. Like, we just want to help, right? I'm sure, like you, like if you could delve into it and go out and hit the street and do it, you would do it too. And when
Right.
we're shut down with that, we've seen lately in the TV shows and some of the movies and things where the public can help, right? The public has the answers. Everybody has the answers, and all we need to do is be heard and get the word out and allow everybody to support and help. And it's unfortunate that sometimes we don't get that. We get shut down too, right? So I try to help and I get shut down too. And so that's not a helpful situation. So we want to work on that. But I will get off my soapbox on that. But I really believe it's a critical part that like you, and I saw you guys in the video, you're standing out there. You're standing outside and you're not getting acknowledged. And
Right.
it's disgusting. It's awful. It's awful. And we need to change that too. So we need to solve every case, and we need to put some preventions in place so this doesn't happen again. We need to change the
Right.
system. So what else can I talk about with our listeners that you think can help us? Is there some part of the case that, because we can't talk about too much. There's things that we don't know. Tell us about Alexis. What kind of a girl? You talked about, she stood her ground. And from what I've seen in the little bit that I've gotten to know you, you have shown exceptional fortitude in dealing with this. And I saw you're all over the internet, and you're speaking for her, which is so
Yes.
important. And I think that's, something too, that you have to, for her children, right? You've got to give the good example and all that stuff. But tell us about Alexis.
Alexis, she was a wonderful mother. I mean, everything was about her kids. They loved her so much. They had just a wonderful relationship. Alexis, I mean, everyone that knew her, they loved her. She had such a good heart. She was like really soft spoken, but I mean, she was a strong young lady, and she was just trying to do the best she could. She was raising her kids, and it's just unfortunate because she was only 26 years old. It's just hard, just very hard to talk about, but she didn't deserve what they did to her. She was just, it was just horrible.
I don't want to get you upset. I don't want to see you crying. Maybe we can add to her legacy. See, and I'm going to get emotional. By changing some of this, right?
Yes.
We can use her memory to empower. And I don't know what it is yet. I mean, my goal is to do whatever I can to solve the case and to get justice. But maybe we don't have the whole answer yet, right? And there's a reason for all of this, and she's serving a higher purpose or something. We don't know. But that's one of the things that I want to do is you want to take something awful and do something good with it. And I want to be able to help with that. So sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's I can only imagine. But she sounds like a really great lady, and you are doing such a super job with the kids and just managing everything and standing up for her and having a voice. And I think that's so important. So let me just close with, if I don't know if you have anything else that you want to say. Do you want to add? And then I just want to recap the details and tell everybody where they can help participate.
Well, I just want to say that, this could have been your daughter, your niece, your granddaughter, your sister, your wife, and I can't do it by myself. I need your help, and, if not for me, if not for Alexis, then do it for her two young boys that, cry every day, that, it's just do it for her kids. If you know something, say something. And I just need, I'm just asking for help. I'm humbling myself and asking because I don't know what else to do. I'm going to keep fighting for her, but I can't do it alone. And I need the public's help. I need people, if you know something, just please come forward, and help us. And because Alexis didn't deserve what they did to her, they they ambushed her and killed her like she was an animal, and she was a human being, So thank you.
Yeah, we want to, everybody's life matters. Anything, like I can't even say anything. Like, I don't care if you think it's crazy and you thought you heard this or that or whatever. We'll take something over nothing, right? Let's see what we can make out of it. And I feel very strongly you have had some very supportive people in the community, which speaks to the character of Alexis and your family. And we just want to put the bow on top of it. Like I said, we just, as much confirmation as we can, any little bit of anything that somebody heard something about somebody being over there. There were multiple people involved. I'll reiterate again, we believe that this was from an altercation between some women at the Icon Club on December 28th, 2019 in Indianapolis, Indiana. These people may frequent or be associated with people that are at the Sunset Strip or Babes East clubs in Indianapolis. If you have information, you can reach out to Detective Smith at the Indianapolis, Indiana Police Department. You can contact us at Help Solve the Case. There's Facebook pages and groups or whatever, any little bit of information, please, please, please come forward, because you can make a difference, not only for Alexis, but for so many people's lives, the ripple effect of the damage, right? And if you come forward and you can help us solve this and take care of this and get justice, it will flower and it will blossom and have so many more far-reaching effects. With just one thing, we'll turn this and let this bloom. And I don't know, I just feel that it will it'll bring so much more. It'll bring so much more value to her life, to Alexis' life, and all of this. So please, 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 we can't ask you enough to help. Any little thing, we beg you, right? I'll beg. Yeah. Because as you said, nobody should go through this, and the randomness, the craziness of this, it could be anybody. This could happen to anybody, any day. And we don't want it to be you. So we need people to know that they're not going to get away with things, and that it's safe for people to come forward, and you need to come forward and do the right thing. So we thank you for helping us and helping us bring justice for Alexis Edwards. Again, December 29th, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you so much. Anything is something. We appreciate you helping us help solve the case. Wow. What a story. I thank Alexis's mom for coming on, sharing her emotions, sharing her story, and being upfront and intimate with us about what she's going through and asking for our help. And so now I don't know how to follow that except to once again ask for your help. We cannot do it without you. Your eyes and ears, at a minimum, are what we need to listen, to understand, to like, to forward, to share, to talk about, and to get people talking so that we can solve these cases. Somebody knows something. It's just a matter of time, and we can speed up that process, and we can help law enforcement and help these families by participating and getting as many people participating as possible. How does that happen? I'm going to ask you for your help here. You can listen to the podcast. You can like our Facebook page, Help Solve the Case on Facebook, Help Solve the Case page on MeWe. We've got a YouTube channel for Help Solve the Case. I'm getting ready to have a Rumble channel for Help Solve the Case. And most importantly of all, if you want to really get in and really help us while at the same time supporting the mission, please join us on our Patreon portal. And that's Patreon, patreon.com/help solve the case. There, you can join us as a virtual investigator. You get first crack at the podcast. You can get information from the virtual bullpen where we have our investigators interacting real time. You can participate in the bullpens and work on these cases live with the investigators, and you can get cold case training so that you can become a cold case specialist, or if you're an investigator and you want to work with us to get cold case certification, we need your help. Cannot do it without you. Sponsors, people that have expertise in these areas, we really need your help. If you're a legislator or somebody that is listening to this and can figure out how we can prevent this from happening, I mean, we cannot solve all crimes or we cannot prevent all crimes, but we can bring the added resources, whether it is the public to private or private to public or funding. I don't know what the answer is. It breaks my heart every time I hear one of these stories. But most of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to do what I feel I do best and to give back in the way that I feel I was born to do with my skills and abilities and my desire. I can't do it without you. So once again, I thank you. On a lighter note, I look forward to talking with you again on our next podcast episode. I do want to add, if you are a family member, victim, or loved one, law enforcement member, or anybody, and there is a case that you would like us to look at too, please feel free to reach out to us. Our website is helpsolvethecase.com. We have a Facebook page, all the MeWe page, YouTube channel, Rumble channel, our Patreon portal at patreon.com, help solve the case. Looking forward to hearing from you, looking forward to helping you. Thank you for helping us, and this has been Help Solve the Case.